Mike. Now you can hear me. My bad. So, welcome, guys. It's been 2 weeks. The captain vote is over. So, we're going to see who's the captain for each team that has been selected by the members of each country. We're going to see what happened with Madagascar. So, they're gone. And we're going to see what's going to be happening next, the team composition phase, the captain's meeting, the rest of teams, also some other things that we have been working on behind the scenes, and gonna be opening some donations as well, of course. And also we're gonna be going over the recent interview with Brazilian Captain Makarov that that our media partner Kuko Productions did. We're gonna see that in a little bit as well. See what was said. It was all in Portuguese, so I'm gonna translate a little bit of it into English while we get the subtitles uploaded onto YouTube. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So let's kick this off. Team captain selection. So that's done. Who was selected? Let me just. You can do this by checking out the Excel Google Sheet on online. That's already updated. So we have Facursa for Argentina. We have MKNS for Belgium. We have Makarov Master, as I said just previously, for Brazil. Monkey D Matthew for Canada. Sibat or Senor Bat for Chile, Bingo for China, Kepsol for Colombia, Ex Lazaro for Cuba, Diaqua for France, Potina for Germany, Latios for Mexico, Quinn for the Netherlands, Christie for Paraguay, Z Anderson for Peru, Iskov for Philippines, Deus Bruno for Portugal, and NHN for South Korea, Axel Gore for Spain, Petty Fire Dragon for Taiwan, K9 for UK, Aftershocker for the USA, and Wallero for Venezuela. So these are the, Axel for Spain, Subcomplutum. So these are the captains for each country. There was one country that was removed, and that was Madagascar. Even though they had enough players, no one reached out to step up as a captain. We reached out to the previous year captain as well as someone else. Basically, the people that we did have a Discord or a means of communication, we tried both on Discord and on the forum, but no one answered. And it's been 2 days since the deadline. So the deadline was on the 18th. Today is the 20th. So we have to move on. So unfortunately, Madagascar is being removed as an official country. All of the players will be given a chance to participate in the rest of teams. So that's one of the things that's coming next. So now these captains, some of them already did it. For example, Facursa already sent me the Argentina roster. So there are 2 days left for the captains to send in the team roster. So minimum of 6, maximum of 18. You don't have to pick 18 if you don't want to, but that's the maximum. So there's 2 days left to do that. Once this is complete, me, William, the co-host, and the council will be doing a little bit of knitting together and see who the rest of teams are. So for some of the African players that are worried that there won't be a Team Africa, like I said, there will be a Team Africa. We'll call it African Nations or whatever. Again, we have to wait to see. For example, this situation with Madagascar, there's an extra 8 or 9 players in there. So we have to see who we have, also who the captains select for their countries, to see who we have until we can proceed with that. So once the captains have submitted their roster, rosters. We will see who we have left, and then we'll create some teams and again see who the captains for these teams will be. So if you would like to be a captain, and I've already received a couple of messages regarding this, if you would like to captain a rest of team, go ahead and put your hat forward. So that's one thing. After the team composition, we'll move on to the rest of the next team. After all of this is done, the rest of teams are created. Then we'll we'll move on to the captain's meeting, see which countries have selected LC as a format so that they can play LC, and discuss other matters such as coordination for the upcoming start of the World Cup. Again, the World Cup will start on September 11th, so we have about 3 weeks, give or take, so 21 days until the official start. So that's pretty much it for the team captain's vote and selection. Next up, what we're gonna do now is take a quick peek, see if this is working properly. So give me some feedback, guys. Can you see this? It's the first time doing this, so I apologize if it's not working properly. Can you guys see the YouTube? It's working. So
fala pessoas, bem-vindo a mais um vídeo de Cuco Pro.
So basically this is Cuco Productions. They are one of our Portuguese media partners. So they did an interview with the Brazilian captain Makarov. Here they are hosting a tournament. They do a bunch of stuff. They're really cool community influencers, let's call it that. So they host their own tournaments, their own giveaways. They're pretty dynamic on YouTube. And they're basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a live comment and translation of the interview with Makarov, what he has to say about the World Cup, the other teams, what he expects for Brazil. I'm still working on the subtitles that I will then upload to the PokeMMO World Cup YouTube channel. So let's get this on the way.
Meus amigos, como vocês sabem, a Cuco está hosteando.
So they're co-hosting the World Cup, which is, yeah, sort of.
E como foi dito, nosso capitão brasileiro, né?
So they're gonna be introducing Makarov soon.
Nosso querido Brasil como capitão.
So he's been playing since 2012, and he's already captained Brazil previously. So as some of you already know, he's now talking about the fact that Brazil already won one World Cup, so they're looking for a second time around. They did a vote. It was apparently between him, Pedro Lindo Único, and Caio. And of course, everyone knows that Caio should be the team captain. Hey, Pedro Lindo. No hate to you, Pedro, but everyone knows that Caio is the best Brazilian player, right? It's Caio plus the rest. That's Brazil. Comments on that, Pedro?
Eu, Caio e o Pedro, e o pessoal acabou votando em mim. E vamos lá. Bom, pra quem não me conhece, eu jogo esse jogo aqui há tempinho, né?
So damn, he's been playing since 2012. That's 10 years. That's a long time.
Acho interessante o conceito de MMO e Pokémon.
So he enjoyed the PokeMMO format, so he started playing, usually in PvE, and then he moved on to PvP.
Tive algumas passagens por time.
So he was in a couple of foreign teams until he formed BR with Jay Howe and a couple others. And now he's obviously part of Brazil team BR, who already won a couple of TTs.
Você teve a participação das Copas Mundiais, como é que foi? Cara, a gente tá indo pra 5ª Copa do Mundo de PokeMMO. Atualmente o Brasil é campeão. A gente foi campeão da primeira edição, em 2017.
Now I have to correct Makarov because he's saying that currently Brazil is a champion. No, the current champion is China, of course, but he does mention that in a little bit. So Brazil won World Cup, Belgium won another, France, I believe, another, and then China is the current champion, defending champion. That's how it says.
Brasil. A segunda foi a Bélgica, a
So
terceira
second was Belgium,
França, a
third
quarta
was France,
foi a
correct,
atual campeão é a China.
and the current champion
E eu tava
China.
no time do Brasil quando a gente foi campeão, né? Acho que na ocasião o Joe era capitão.
So at the time he was when Brazil was champion, Makarov was part of the team, but the captain was Jay Howe, which is also one of the commentators that we already hooked up for this year's World Cup. He'll be doing a little bit of commenting of matches in Portuguese, along with Yoshi.
E a gente tem tá na busca do bicampeonato, né?
So yeah, definitely Brazil is looking for a second win. So he's excited about that. I just gotta say that Kuko did a really good job. This event is really cool. This is the final of a tournament. I think that Jay Howe won it from the comments here, but it's really cool to see the Brazilian community come together like this.
Pois é. E aí, o que você tá achando da Copa Mundial?
So now Kuko's asking what he's thinking about the current World Cup.
Cara, eu tô achando... Esse ano eu gostei. O Roche tá fazendo uma parada bacana, que é... Ele tirou aquele negócio de ter mais de um país sendo representado por mais de uma equipe. Por exemplo, nas outras Copas a gente tinha...
Yeah, so he's saying that he's enjoying the World Cup at the moment. He enjoyed the fact that basically we removed the, let's say, Portugal 1, Portugal 2 team, which wasn't very nice against, again, big teams. Let's say that we had the Portugal 1 against Portugal 2 in the finals. That would not be cool. In this case, he mentions China.
Vamos supor, China A e China B, porque como eles têm muitos players...
Again, a country that has a lot of players.
Não ficar muita gente. Eu achava muito ruim essa possibilidade de cair, por exemplo, chega no semifinal e tá lá China A contra China B.
If we got to a semi-final and we had China 1 against China B,
eu gostei.
It would not be
E a
cool.
gente também esse ano não tem showdown, era outra coisa que eu não gostava quando tinha. Little Cup passou a ser opcional.
Okay. So he's saying that he enjoyed the fact that VGC and so Showdown and Little Cup was removed.
Não é mais obrigatório. E
Or
isso,
not removed, but not mandatory.
O que tá vindo nessa Copa aí.
É, isso aí. E com exceção
Again,
do
it's
time
good to know.
brasileiro,
That's
qual
what
a sua
we're working
escolha
for.
do time campeão?
Cara, pra mim, o favorito ainda é a China.
Oh, snap. Okay, so he's coming and saying that aside from Brazil, he thinks that China is still the main contender to win it. Let's see why he says it.
A campanha da China na última Copa foi bizarra. Tipo, eu não acompanhei a fase de grupo deles, mas provavelmente eles passaram em primeiro. Mas no playoff, eles destruíram. Foi tipo, quartas de final, 7-1.
So he's saying that China basically swept the last World Cup in the playoff. He didn't follow them in the group stage, but they completely swept the playoffs, the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals. It was a complete sweep. So he thinks that China is just as strong this year. So they're the main contenders to win.
Semifinal 5-1 e na final eles destruíram também. Eu acho que eu tenho aqui salvo. Eles bateram a Venezuela por 6-1 na final.
So props to China.
Surra atrás de surra.
Nossa.
E esse ano eles vêm muito fortes também. Se eu tivesse que apostar em alguém, apostar dinheiro, eu apostaria na China, mas o Brasil vem forte. Esse ano a gente vem forte também.
He's saying that Brazil is strong as well, so he's definitely looking to make an impact this World Cup.
Esses chineses aí estão dominando o PokeMMO, hein?
Pois é, a gente zoava antigamente. E assim que os chineses descobriram esse jogo, foi lá pra 2017, por aí, 2018, que E chinês não sabia jogar competitivo.
Okay, so apparently there used to be a meme about the Chinese competitive players that if you were bad, then you played like a Chinese. Because the Chinese came in late into PokeMMO, apparently around 2017. So if you were a bad player, you played like a Chinese.
E a gente zoava, tinha várias piadas internas na comunidade competitiva. Quando a pessoa era ruim, pô, você parece chinês jogando, mano. E hoje em dia, falar isso é elogio, porque os caras estão ganhando tudo.
But again, nowadays, saying that you play like a Chinese has become a compliment. So, since they're pretty much winning everything, according to Makarov here. And again, world champions.
Tá cutucando onça com vara curta, hein?
Pois é, eles levaram a piada muito pro pessoal.
So yeah, apparently the Chinese took it to heart, took it personally, and made a turnaround. So now I have to say, from me, if you're playing bad, then you're playing like Deus Bruno, because he sucks.
Esses chineses, hein? E quais são os pontos fortes aí, então, do time brasileiro?
So now Riai is asking, what are the strong points of the Brazilian team?
Forte do Brasil. Cara, eu acho que a maior vantagem que não só o Brasil, mas algumas outras seleções vão ter nessa Copa é que eles tiraram o Showdown. Na passada já tinham tirado também, mas tiraram o Showdown e Little Cup. Porque, pelo menos na nossa seleção, a gente não tinha nenhum jogador que era muito familiarizado com o Showdown. Então,
Okay, so he's saying that the main advantage for Brazil and a lot of other countries as well is that the Little Cup format was removed as well as Showdown, because a lot of countries, and in this case he's speaking about Brazil, they didn't even have a Little Cup, an LC player. So they basically knew that it was a loss. So again, they were coming into the match already losing. And again, this was one of the main reasonings why we removed LC as an official format. You think that, for example, Spain can take down China, Complutum? China can and will be defeated. Of course, I'm going to have to quote you on that, Complutum, for an extra hype. How much are you willing to bet on that? If Spain comes up against China, will Spain beat China? Oh, really? Cool. So we have a bet here right now. 100% Spain can beat China. Oh, snap. How much are you willing to put on that? 200K. Bet. Screenshot taken. Very good, very good. Strong words, Complutum.
Jogador que podia desempenhar bem em algum tier do jogo para jogar Showdown, ele ia jogar mais ou menos, e a pessoa que ia substituir no jogo também ia jogar mais ou menos. Acabava que a gente ficava com o time todo remendado. Aí a mesma coisa o Little Cup.
So yeah, basically he's saying that someone that was decent in one format would have to adapt to LC, so that wasn't good. So they basically knew that it was an automatic loss. Again, this is not cool. This is not competitive. This is not interesting. One thing is if everyone's proficient in a format, but if not, starting a game losing 1-0 is not cool.
Então, a gente sempre vinha com o time remendado, tendo que improvisar. E nessa Copa não vai ter isso. A gente tem pessoa que sabe jogar em todas as tiers. O Veruzit, Underuzit, Neveruzit, Doubles. Mas se eu pudesse destacar um, eu diria que seria o Doubles. A gente tem uns 3 caras bons de Doubles. E, pra quem sabe aí, Doubles é a pedra no sapato de muito time no jogo.
So he's saying that Brazil has like 3 strong dubs player. So if he had to stand out a strong side of Brazil, it would be dubs. So he thinks that he can definitely do something with dubs.
Não precisa nem ser seleção, até em times mesmo. Porque tem um torneio de time lá e muita gente não vai bem quando tem doubles. Porque é uma tier que não é muita gente que... Tier não, é um formato que muita gente não gosta de jogar, e quem tem jogadores doubles tem a vantagem. E nessa Copa, a gente tem uma coisa chamada escolha.
So he's saying that even in team tournaments, whoever has a strong dubs player has an advantage because it's not a very viewed format. So whoever has a good dubs player has a good chance of winning. And like he said, Brazil apparently has 3 good dubs player. Yeah, there's an ongoing bet if Pedro is going to be banned during the World Cup. So, Pedro, do your best. Either way.
Escolha de capitão. Então o capitão consegue. Tem as 4 tias lá que vão ser obrigatórias.
Yeah.
E tem mais 2 que vai ser. Um vai ser escolha de um capitão e outro vai ser escolha de outro. Então, dependendo da situação, a gente vai poder abusar dessa de doubles, né? Porque é muito difícil ter um jogador doubles bom em virar 2. E a gente tem uns 2 ou 3.
So he's saying that he hopes to take advantage of the captain's choice because since he has good dubs player, so one of them is definitely going to play, and so on the second one, he on the captain's choice he might pick dubs again because some teams might not have good enough dubs player, so he's hoping to exploit that. So that's a good point. So that's definitely something that they're looking to explore.
Então, eu acho que se eu fosse destacar um, seria doubles pro Brasil.
Doubles é complicado, né? Porque
é uma
um formato diferente, né?
Exato.
Um Pokémon de doubles é totalmente diferente com de singles.
Sim, exato.
Aí acho que é por isso que o povo não joga muito, né? Porque
sim.
Não é tão barato assim, né? Digamos assim, você fazer...
É uma tier cara de jogar também, porque o que a galera mais usa é gema, essas coisas, e toda batalha gasta uma gema, é uma tier cara de se jogar.
So you're saying that dubs is basically an expensive format to play, and that's why some people also don't play. And Kuko mentioned, and this is something that we all know, basically the PokeMMO dubs format is different from everyone, like from VGC, so you play with 6 Pokemons, not just 4. So again, Doc is making a VGC tournament. I think that's pretty cool. That's something that I would like to participate as well. So maybe it's something that we can look into the future.
Jogar matchmaking, essas coisas, é uma tier, cara. Aí não é tão atrativa para jogadores novos, por isso que a gente não tem muitos jogadores de doubles no jogo.
Pois é. Não sei como é que um MMO poderia incentivar isso, talvez baratear gema, não sei.
Pode ser, tem várias formas, mas...
Coco is saying that PokeMMO should lower the price of gems.
Aí sim, hein? Vamos com tudo. E já que você falou então que participou das Copas, como é que foi o desempenho da Copa passada?
So now Ray is asking how Brazil did last World Cup. Let's see what Makarov has to say.
A gente não foi pro playoff, a gente foi na fase de grupo, mas a gente caiu num grupo pesado. A gente pegou o grupo da Venezuela que chegou na final. Eu não lembro se foi a Venezuela, porque tinha 2 Venezuelas. Não sei se foi a que chegou na final, e também o grupo da Europa, Oeste Europa, que eram uns caras muito bravos de cada time. Foi pegando tipo um cara bom de cada time e formou, era Rest of Europe, resto da Europa.
Que bizarro, hein?
Sim. Tinha essas coisas na Copa passada. E sim, a gente chegou na última rodada com chance de classificar.
So basically, he's saying that Brazil didn't make the playoffs last year, but that's because they got into a very strong group with Venezuela and rest of Europe. And even though they got to the very last round with a possibility of going into the playoffs, they didn't manage. So they're probably looking to do better this time around. Let's see.
E a gente perdeu justamente para esse Rest of Europe. Foi no quase, né? Mas não adiantou muito não, porque no final das contas a China desceu o sarrafo em geral. Então, mas aí tinha aquele fator que eu comentei, né? Da gente jogar com o time remendado. Little Cup era um fator, era um
So yeah, basically saying that in every match they started losing one because they didn't have any LC players. So that's not very interesting to them, of course.
fatores na Copa passada. Né? A gente tinha jogado o Little Cup, mas era um dia que eu não botava muita fé. Assim. Ah, vai jogar, se ganhar, beleza, mas eu não estou contando como vitória. Eu já
So basically, they assigned someone to LC. And they were like, "Oh, go do your best," but they weren't really expecting a win.
fazia o time pensando
That's not cool, guys. That's
naquela
not cool.
tira ali como derrota.
So they already assumed a loss.
E então quais são suas expectativas para essa Copa?
Cara,
So now Rai is asking what are their expectations for this World Cup. Let's see what Makarov has to say.
playoff, pelo menos. Mas é fácil falar isso porque depende também dos grupos, né? A gente nem teve o sorteio ainda. Então se a gente cair no grupo com China, com a Bélgica vem forte, a Venezuela vem forte.
So basically, he's saying playoffs at least, but again, this depends on the group sorting, and this is going to be interesting because there's a lot of strong teams like China, which he said is the main favorite to win, Belgium, Venezuela.
A gente cair contra esses caras é complicado. O Brasil tem chance ainda, como eu falei. Esse ano a gente tem jogador bom em todas as tiers. Mas eu acho que vai depender do sorteio. A gente pegar um grupo mais ou menos, dá pra passar.
Saying that Brazil has very strong players this year in all formats, so he definitely thinks that they have a chance of making it to the playoffs. But again, it depends on the seeding of each group.
E é isso, o Brasil tem chance pra mim de título. Tem chance, tá entre ali pelo menos top 5 ali das seleções que eu botaria como chance de título.
So Pedro, you were assigned to lose each match. Good to know.
Aí sim.
No mínimo playoffs, eu diria. Essa é a minha expectativa.
You were the sacrifice
E uma
player.
curiosidade que me bateu agora. O time está composto de quantas pessoas?
Cara, o time atualmente pode 18, é o limite. A gente tem 20. Então eu vou ter que fazer um teste com algumas pessoas aí e no final das contas os dois vão ser cortados.
So yeah, basically they're talking about the team size for Brazil this year. So Makarov said that there are 20 players, but the maximum size is 18. So he's going to be doing a couple of tests with the players, and in the end he's going to have to cut 2, which is normal. But yeah, definitely once the maximum numbers of players have signed up, the captains have a free reign to do tryouts to see who's the best player to represent their team. So I think that this is something, I personally think that this is something very interesting.
Eu não fiz essa semana ainda porque eu tô meio sem tempo, mas até dia 20, se eu não me engano, eu tenho que passar a lista dos jogadores pro host.
Oh, it's the 22nd, Makarov. 22nd. So he's saying that he has to give the list of the players, the roster, until the 20th. But no, it's until the 22nd. So there are 2 days left to submit the team rosters.
Eu já botei isso pronto, mas serão 18.
Pois é, né? 18 é muita gente, né? E como é que vai ser?
Pois é, esse negócio. Ele colocou o limite de 18 e eu já acho 18 exagerado. Dificilmente eu vou usar os 18 jogadores. Eu já tenho mais ou menos uma lista de nomes que eu pretendo usar aqui. E só se alguém me tacar muito pra mim trocar. Entende? Mas vamos ver.
So basically, Makarov is saying something, and this is interesting because this is something that me and the council discussed. So with the move to reduce the tiers to 6, we believe was the right decision in order to increase the amount of teams in countries that are represented. So this was a good move. That's the consensus so far. But the maximum team size of 18, and again, some of the council members mentioned this, and I also somewhat agree, 18 is too much. And that's what Makarov is saying. I don't think he thinks that 18 is too much. the reason that we did 18 was it's 3 times the minimum size. So 6, 12, 18. That was simple math. To give substitution, people missing, people disappearing out of no reason. So basically, we want to ensure that the teams always have enough substitute players. Does it suck because some players won't get to participate? Yes, it does. But again, what we're looking for is consistency in the matches. So that's the reasoning here. Maybe we could have done less, like 16. I don't know. But hey, it's we're still ironing out the kinks. We're trying to make this the best World Cup ever. And personally, I hope that the next host will take the lessons that we learned on this one. Like I took the lessons learned from previous World Cup hosts. Like I have Monkey D. Matthew, Limbo, Orange Maniac. All of the previous World Cup hosts are in my council, and we're talking it over. And I'll talk with the next host as well. So the goal here is to make this increasingly better.
Acho que 18 é exagero. Talvez tenha algumas seleções.
But again, there's the reverse side, which is big teams. Only 18 is not enough for them because they'll leave a lot of other players out. But again, if they take the Makarov approach, they can test, which is something that's pretty cool. It's like you can do tryouts, like a tryout tournament for each format in each country. And that's a way to decide the roster. I don't know, just an idea.
Outro que vai usar, né? Que tem muito jogador destacado, que dá pra fazer um rodízio maior. Mas eu não acredito que vai ser o caso, tá?
Pois é, porque, né, é muita gente, né? Porque vocês vão jogar só 6 vezes, né?
Exatamente, são 6 vezes. 6 pessoas jogando por semana, no caso, posso repetir ou não.
Acho que às vezes isso é bom pra caso alguém não pode, né? Pra substituir a pessoa.
So yeah, so they're saying that only 6 people will play per week. Yes, and Ria just said, "Oh, it's in case someone misses." Yes, maybe 18 is too much. 3 times, maybe 2.5 times the roster would be better. Again, 16, 14 people. I don't know. It's a work in progress, guys.
É bom ter caso precise, mas eu acredito que a maioria não vai usar também, todos.
Mas assim, se você fosse escalar aí o pessoal aí por exemplo, da seleção principal aí, quais seriam as pessoas e quais tiers eles jogariam?
Cara,
tough question from Riai. So he's asking if what would be the main roster for Brazil and who would he pick and what tiers would they play?
É complicado porque como é que eu posso dizer? Tem jogador que se sai melhor contra um oponente X e tem jogador que se sai melhor contra o oponente Y. Eu convivi muito com isso, porque o meu time participa muito do torneio de times.
So basically Makarov is dodging the question. And he's saying that that depends because some players are better against some players and others against others. So he's dodging the question.
E tem situações ali que, mesmo um jogador sendo melhor que o outro, eu prefiro colocar o outro, porque essa primeira opção, aquele cara que a gente vai possivelmente jogar contra, ele já sabe como é que ele joga, já sabe os...
So he's saying that even though theoretically one player might be better than another, that he would pick the worst player because he has a better winning percentage against the specific player that he's facing against. So he has played a lot against him in the past. He knows what kind of movesets, what kind of Pokemons he has. So has a better, even though he's worse than the main player, he would pick him. That's interesting, no doubt. And again, this might be a reasoning for the bigger roster adaptation. I don't know.
Que ele vai usar e já tem em mente, ele já tem adotado os times que ele usa. Então, para mim, cada caso é um caso.
Yeah.
Eu tenho 2 ou 3 ali por posição, talvez, que por tier no caso, que que eu pretendo colocar, mas vai depender muito de quem a gente vai enfrentar.
Again, this is interesting. And he's saying that depending on who he's facing, he will pick different players. And again, if we take into consideration the fact that he has an 18-player roster, having a bigger roster gives him more options depending on who he's facing. So even though he wasn't considering it, he's now making a case for a bigger roster.
Então a galera tá em dia, hein? Tá anotando o time adversário.
O PokeMMO ele tem uma comunidade muito grande, competitiva ali do alto nível. Então a galera se conhece. A galera que joga ranked direto, ele se conhece, ele sabe o time que o outro usa. O cara sabe até o set que a pessoa usa ali e tal Pokémon. Então tem que saber. Ser capitão não é tão simples quanto parece.
Saying that being captain isn't as easy as it seems. Definitely.
Tem que saber administrar bem o jogador que você vai colocar.
Tô vendo aí. E você já foi capitão?
So this is Alan and this is Riai.
Fui nas duas últimas, na terceira e na quarta.
Terceira e na quarta, né?
A segunda eu não lembro quem foi, na primeira foi o Joe.
So now they're just talking about who was the previous captains of Brazil.
Acho que é isso aí. Se o povo tiver mais interesse em fazer uma outra pergunta aí pro Makarov, gente, é só vocês deixarem no comentário. Acho que a gente já abordou todos os pontos que eu gostaria. E esperamos então começar o evento aí pra gente poder ver a Batalha dos Brabos, hein, gente? Aí vocês viram aí que é alto nível de PVP, então...
So yeah, basically they're wrapping up, saying that they're going to be doing some coverage of the World Cup, and that is correct. Again, they're one of our media partners. We're also going to have Jehao and Yoshin doing match commentating in Portuguese. We're still looking for a Spanish commentator and media partner to do, for example, interviews like this in Spanish. Upcoming next, Riai is going to be doing Riai is going to be doing an interview with Doge Bruno from Portugal. We have Best Friends doing an interview of K9 from UK and Aftershocker from the USA. I'll be doing an interview with Matthew Monkey D. Matthew from Canada, and looking to set up other interviews as well. Madra will be doing an interview with a French captain, and again, this is getting organized, so the idea is to have an interview of each captain before the World Cup starts, to bring more information to the community, to the viewers, more hype. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. So, upcoming, the subtitles translation to YouTube, Portuguese and Canada, UK, USA, other captain interviews that's coming shortly. Also, we have the Chinese and Taiwanese team captains interviews being done. We will then put English subtitles in those. So that's going to be fun. And that's pretty much it for today. Delicious Captains interviews. Yeah, so those are coming. We're still looking again for a Spanish or Latin, however you want to say it, media partner. So if everyone knows anyone, please let me know. Next up, the only thing left today to do is opening some donations. So let's see what we have here. What are we up to? Let's see. So we're up to 70 million. So that's cool. What do we have today? So my weekly donations from last week. Like I said, I'm doing a 1 million donation per week to the World Cup. So that's week 6. Boom. There we go. Oh, disconnected. What the hell? Hold on. I forgot to do something. Game capture. This is better. Oh. Hold on. I suck. There we go. When's my interview, Pedro? I don't know, man. You're not captain. When you get banned, you'll have an interview. So, Nuzlocke BR sent in 1 million as well. Thank you, Nuzlocke. So, William, my co-host, 1 million for this month. He sent in another million. So, yeah. So, William did a pledge of 1 million per month. So, that's 250k per week. Cheap bastard. Now Miller sending in 2 million. Okay, so top. Oh no, because there's Miguel. So he's beating both Pashima and Deus Bruno. This is a Portuguese participant. So 2 million coming in. Thank you, Miller. And again, my weekly donation for week 7. Another million. So that puts us at 76 million. So good job, guys. We're getting there. Again, the next donation ladder goal is 90 million. So we're only 14 million away. We can probably hit that. And that would be the tier art review. So as you may know, Tier recently posted in the PokeMMO forums that he's quitting PokeMMO. He's going to be focusing on his art career talent, so he needs to focus exclusively on that, but he will still do the final art request. So definitely this brings up the hype of this prize, because this will probably be Tier's last work for the PokeMMO community. So the hype is even bigger for this community prize. So let's get there soon and move on to the next goal. So that's it for today, guys. Any questions? So conclude them. You need to check the letter rewards. I can tell you that. So the next letter reward, like I said, is Picasso's tier at 90 million. Then there's the triple threat at 110 million, and those are yeah. So that's a best of 3 with Bearmanator, Jose, and Deus Bruno. They will be playing RD random battles for Bear. Jose will be playing triple battles, and Bruno will be playing rotation battles. After that, there will be the Mad Scientist at 130 million, and that's a VIP, a secret VIP format. And then there's the final boss level at 150 million. Again, an OU match against a top tier PvP player in the community. Yeah, donations for World Cup 5, please. And welcome you, HM3. So yeah, donations for World Cup 5. We open those every 2 weeks. So next stream will be, let me check the calendar. The next stream will be on September 3rd. Wait, September 3rd, yes. And probably then I'll just do a extra stream on September 10th, the day before the actual start of the World Cup. So 2 weeks from today, we'll see what donations we have. We'll see how the lottery goes. Again, this is something that I'm still working on, but we might just do a live seeding of the groups. Just a quick hype creation idea here. I believe Limbo did that the previous year, and the community really enjoyed it, and I think that would be cool. So if you would like live seeding of the groups, let me know. Post either on the Discord or on the forums, and that's pretty much it. So guys, thank you for tuning in today. 2 weeks from today, we'll be back, maybe even earlier if we do the live seeding stream. Okay guys, thank you very much. See you in 2 weeks. Have a good one.